Okay, good morning, everybody. It is Monday. Happy Monday. It's March 3rd, 2025, and it's 7:46 a.m. here in Chicago. So, I'm glad everybody enjoyed the excitement of the fights this weekend. I know I did, and I enjoyed a lot of people's content, especially regarding the Tank versus Lamont Roach fight. And, I think, like myself, a lot of people have never been happier to be wrong about this fight, but here's what I wanted to say. I had learned, salute to Ak Reacher, he told me, I had learned, because I didn't see it, that Demetrius Andrade had it 7-5 in favor of Tank Davis. And I know that Demetrius Andrade, he doesn't judge fights based off of politics or, someone he likes. He doesn't do that. He really watches the fight, and his scorecard is his scorecard. I know that much about him. Now, 903 Boxing, salute to 903. I don't know if you follow him. I don't know if you know about his work, but he really knows his boxing. Now, I'm not saying just because he knows his boxing, you have to agree with his scorecard. I'm not saying that. But just to give you a little bit of background, he really knows his boxing. And he had said prior to the fight, how a lot of people are going to sleep on Lamont Roach. I definitely slept on Lamont Roach. Well, 903 had it 7-5 in favor of Tank Davis also. Now, keep in mind, this is after he's telling us, that Tank Davis finally met a slick black boxer that he couldn't, just knock out and get out of the ring. And he also said not just Tank Davis, but pretty much all them motherfuckers, whether it be Keyshawn, Shakur, any of them. He said they all need to get in the ring with slick black boxers. So that means with each other, really, And so the whole point of his video, really, at least in my opinion, was to basically say, you see, this is what happens when you hype up a fighter who has not had to get in the ring professionally with slick black fighters. And then he said he had the card 7-5 in favor of Tank Davis. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because I think it's a strong show. I think it's a strong show of separating, the ring from somebody's behavior outside of the ring. I think it's a strong show of separating that. Yeah, I'm glad Tank Davis got humbled. Maybe he won't be such a clown on social media anymore. Maybe he won't always be saying, I'm not fighting him, he just wants a check. I'm not doing this. Fuck him, I'm not fighting him. He ain't got nothing for me. Now he won't be able to get away with that because he'll look stupid as fuck. Some boxers can get away with that, not him. And I'm going to be honest with you, side note, he's lucky he got humbled by a brother. He's lucky he got humbled by a black boxer, because if this had been another race, oh my God, if he thinks he's getting clowned now, if he thinks he's getting dragged now, we're going very light on him compared to had he lost to a non-black boxer. So he better be lucky it was Lamont Roach, But yeah, even though myself and probably most of the people listening are very happy that he got humbled and somebody showed him, you see, you're not necessarily the best out there. Stop assuming you are, and stop assuming that you're doing anybody a favor by getting in the ring with them. The only thing you're doing by getting in the ring with them is showing whether or not you're as good as you say you are. That's all you're doing. You're not doing anybody any favors, So even though we were all happy to see that, we still want him to get fair fights just like everybody else. So I just thought it was important to mention that some people, despite everything, had Tank Davis up on the cards. They had 7-5. Now, I think that's important because I see most people I see have 8-4 Lamont Roach. I didn't give mine because mine, I thought there was something wrong with my scorecard because I had it closer. I did. And so I saw a lot of 8-4s for Lamont Roach. And so I immediately said, maybe that's right. I'm going to rewatch the fight. I saw some 9-3s for Lamont Roach. I even saw, no lie, I forgot whose live it was, 11-1. Somebody had it 11-1. I saw 11-1s. I saw 10-2s down to 8-4s for Lamont Roach. Now, in my opinion, the higher you go, like up to 11-1 for Lamont Roach, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to see you as a Tank hater. And a lot of people, rightfully so, because he's an asshole. But it shows that you're not really, truly being objective. You're not being objective. You just want to really stick it to Tank Davis. And I don't, I totally get it. But 11-1, like, come on, son. You didn't see no 11-1 fight. So, yeah, you guys, some people had 7-5 in favor of Tank Davis. And despite how you feel about Tank Davis, I find that interesting. And that really makes me want to rewatch the fight. I want to see if it's possible. Is there any way, shape, or form I can pull a 7-5 out for Tank Davis? I just like to really see if I can actually see what other people's scorecards look like. I know I would never see the 11-1. I would never see the 10-2. And I do not think I would see a 9-3. 8-4 down to 7-5 for Tank. I mean, that's a lot of rounds where you would have to see them differently. But it's not impossible. I don't know. I just want to see, because 903 Boxing, he knows his shit, and he's pretty good at, scoring fights, in my opinion, at least, in my opinion. And he had it 7-5 for Tank. I wanted to mention that because is there anybody listening who had it a lot closer than what people were saying? I'm not saying you had to have it 7-5 for Tank, but let me see the draws. Who had it as a draw? Who had it, who had it from 7-5 Tank up to 7-5 Lamont Roach? I know I'm in that bracket. 7-5 to Tank up to 7-5 Lamont Roach, including a draw. But yeah, when Ak mentioned that Demetrius Andrade had it 7-5, I really kept that in the back of my head, because I'm like, Andrade is the most, like, I'm not going to do this because I know him or because he's popular. He's the most ass-kissing type person when it comes to him judging a fight. So I really found it interesting and, intriguing that he had it 7-5 Tank Davis. And then when I heard 903 say he had it, I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, okay. I definitely want to talk about this. And, a lot of channels, and I'm not, hey, do your thing. A lot of channels dedicate their channel to protecting Tank. They dedicate their channels to protecting Tank. And anybody who challenges Tank is a hater and doesn't deserve it and hasn't done shit and all he does is run, And these are people who I always thought were very knowledgeable, boxing channels. But now all of a sudden they can't spot a very talented boxer in Shakur Stevenson. Now all of a sudden they can't see that type of talent. Well, those channels, they had no choice but to make videos, keeping it real. And, now all of a sudden they got to sound a little different. Because their boy didn't get a knockout, and a lot of people think their boy lost. And they might even low-key think their boy lost. So now all of a sudden, they want to tell us some shit that we already saw on the screen. Nobody needs you to tell us what we saw on the screen. So you can save all of those keep it real videos, because you were kissing Tank's ass, or as they say, you were glazing Tank. And if that same body in the ring had been Shakur Stevenson, you would still be talking all of that nonsense. You would still be talking all of that nonsense had that been Shakur Stevenson in the ring. So you can make all the keep it real and, you know, straight up videos you want to, but you're still a phony. You're still a phony. Because had that been Shakur, he wouldn't have heard the end of it, you know. That's why I don't understand why channels dedicate their channel to protecting fighters. I don't get that, you know. Like what's in it for you? You know, what's in it for you? Why can't you just be objective and disconnected from all of these fighters and just tell the truth? You know, why is that so hard? I don't know. I guess being pro tank and a tank protector does have its benefits because, you know, maybe it brings in more followers. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to say. I saw a couple of people in comments making these nasty little comments about Gary Antoine Russell, saying I don't give a fuck about him or his win ever since he, you know, gave Ryan Garcia a pass. First of all, that RG guy, I don't even talk about him on my channel. That stupid racist. I don't even talk about him on my channel, but I'll mention him for the sake of this argument. You know, I see people in comments saying, you know, fuck Gary Antoine Russell. I don't care about what he did ever since he gave Ryan Garcia a pass. You know, some people are so hypocritical. They have no shame. No shame. Because when Bill Haney made that video right after Ryan Garcia's racist rant, the first thing Bill Haney said was, I'm not going to kick a man while he's down. Nobody is leaving in the comment section, you know, fuck Bill Haney, I don't care what he does ever since he gave Ryan a pass. Nobody's saying this. Nobody. But yet you got that energy for Shakur. Like, you know, cut it out with the fake black stuff. Like, cut it out. You can't even be consistent. You can't even be consistent. Cut it out with the fake black stuff. Because you're still dapping up and you're still praising Bill Haney, and he did the same exact thing. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You're a hypocrite, you know. And it's always the channels that, you know, try to be so much blacker than everybody else. They're full of shit. They're phonies, you know. If you don't like Gary Antoine Russell because, you know, you felt at least at one point because he was a threat to Devin Haney, that's why you don't like him. Ryan Garcia ain't got nothing to do with it. Because, I don't know why you're swearing by these boxes anyway. You never know what Devin Haney might come out of his mouth and say one day that you don't agree with as far as the movement, as far as black people. You never know what's going to come out of his mouth one day. So what are you going to do when that happens? You're going to make an excuse for him. So just leave that alone. If you can't be consistent, just leave it alone, because you end up looking silly. Because these same guys who were in the comments saying that, they look so stupid to me. Because I know for a fact they gave Devin Haney, his father, a pass, you know. And I support Gary Antoine Russell, you know. So that's all I want to say. Tell me what you think about the 7-5 scorecard for Tank Davis. And I think that, you know, that scorecard is definitely valid enough for me to take another look at that fight. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me. But I'm definitely going to take another look at that fight. And I want to see, you know, if I see anything close. Well, I already wasn't far from that anyway. But I'm definitely going to take a look. You know, that's why when I made my first video, congratulating Lamont Roach, I said, and many people had Lamont Roach winning. Notice I said that. And notice I didn't say I had Lamont Roach winning, because I was kind of up in the air. I'm going to keep it real with you. So, have a a good day, everyone. Oh my God, almost 15 minutes. Have a good day.